Okay, very good afternoon and welcome to the first Q&A session. I have received several questions, out of which we finalized on 7 different questions to go through, which we received because there were a couple of common questions. So the questions are not in specific order, all are just being answered as they appear to me. So we'll be going through. I have kept my phone ready with questions so that we can understand what were the question and I can start answering them. So hope for the best and you guys learn maximum out of this. So let us start. So the first question which I received is, sir, I was asked what exactly is a Python with reference to type of language and it can do. Now this is a very common question which we get in interviews. So be ready for this. Now Python has a several stuff to say. It's a high level programming, number one, because we are talking about a language which is more like English and still able to get programmed. Point one. Point two, it is used in functional coding, object oriented programming also. Like Haskell, which is one of the language for functional coding, Python can also be used for functional coding. So again, so sir, what should be answered? Simple. Python is a high level programming language which can be used for functional programming, object-oriented programming, application development, and also on the web development front. Because Django and Flask are the architecture which can be used into it. So that's exactly what we are trying to say. So that is Python. Another question which has been asked, Python is interpreted. Is it good, bad? How would we define? Okay. So answer to this question is pretty simple. When it comes to Python being interpreted, yes, it is. Good point, bad point, good point. Since it is interpreted, it will go line by line. So if we are writing a code of 100 line and my error maybe is on 90th line, my code would run without any problem to line number 89. After which I will generate an error, I will stop. So what's a good thing? Sir, isme acha kya? The good thing in this works in a very simple manner. At least to 89th line, I'm very clear about the fact that my code and my logic work. On 90th line, there is some error, before which I'm sure the remaining 89 lines are working perfectly and I'm able to answer, I'm able to work with it. And that's exactly what we are trying to say. That is the advantage. So projects which are research based, where we are learning, we are doing R&D, this is much better because we are assured about one thing कि कितने lines चल रहा है और कितने line नहीं चल रहा है. So that's what we are talking about. Point one. Point two, sir, बुरा, because it is interpreted, the problem is it is a bit slow compared to Java. Uh, because in Java, if you remember, we used to take a code, compile it, create a class file, then create a exe, or rather exe was never created. From a class file straight away machine code and we used to work, which was interpreted. So it was much faster compared to Python. So Python is slower compared to compiled languages, but still capable of doing wonderful stuff. So that would be the answer for interpreted or compiled. So that's what we are talking about. Okay, let me further go with next question. Just a minute. So another question which we have in this is, let me again go back to this. So, okay. So we have another question which says, is dynamically typed means dynamic memory management? I won't say completely, because जब आप बोल रहे हो dynamically type, it simply means the factor that depending on the data which we give, on that basis, data type of the variable would be defined. So is it dynamically typed? Yes, because we would be working with the data which looks something like this. We'll be writing this way. A is equal to 10. It will understand it is int. We say B is equal to 2.3. It will understand it's a float. And then because of this thing, we can assure that whatever memory needed for int, float or other thing would be given. And hence we are ready to accept the fact that yes, it is dynamically typed. Dynamic memory. A better example of dynamic memory is when you create a class where we used to say the very simple A is equal to human. empty bracket, you got the memory. Maybe as you move ahead, A is no longer used, or A might be used by somebody else. So at this instant, the memory allocated to A will be removed and given to another A as a variable. So this is where dynamic memory management of Python comes into picture. That means as long as a particular object is not referred by anybody, we'll simply remove. So both are interrelated but also independent topics to talk on. Dynamically typed, and yes, if we consider memory given to each, maybe dynamic memory management. But yes, you should also know that two different concepts which are put together in this kind of thing. So that would be it for the answer. That would be it for the working. So going further to talk about, going further to work with. Another question which I have is interpreted as I said, then sir, somebody asked me in interview what is PEP. That is PEP, not PIP, otherwise it will be PIP. That is Python Enhancement Proposal. Now, is it that important? Kya hai, kaise hai? Now, as we are moving in Python, as we are developing new stuff in Python, we are going one step ahead at a time manner. And under this scenario, the best thing we are doing is we are having certain proposals of adding some new data, adding some new APIs and packets. So PEP is talks about that. So if you want a full form with that, PEP talks about Python Enhancement Proposal. Okay. PP8 is very important because there are a lot of enhancement feature which we are going around. Another question which is what is scope in Python? Okay, scope talks about variable visibility or variable validity. So if we need to understand what is scope going through, what exactly scope would work into, it's very simple. We have local scopes. If we remember, we had a local scopes, we had global scopes. Now, these are the most two basic type of scopes which we know. Apart from that, we also have module level and outermost. Now, what do you mean by this? I repeat, module level and outermost. Now, what do you mean by this? Local, we are very clear with those variables which are created in functions and destroyed with the function are local. Global, created in a file and accessible within the entire file. Accessible within the entire file. Now, module level, okay, are special type of variable which can be include or access in the entire module. Some system variables are used in this manner. Some system variables are operated in this manner. Be very, very clear. Similarly, outermost talks about certain built-in variables. Now, sir, what would be certain built-in variables are we talking about over here? Some built-in names like system, home directory, and other things which you may need for environmental access. This is what we get into. This is what we talk into. So that's another common thing which you should know. So yes, scope. Scope talks about the visibility. There are four types of visibility: local, global, module level, and outermost. So be careful how to work about this. Another question which we have is, sir, what is the key difference between list and tuple? That's why I say pay attention in lecture. We always said now, if we talk about them, both are very much similar, but the biggest difference between the tuple and the list. Number one is the symbol, obviously. Another thing is this is dynamic. That means you can add, remove elements as per the need basis. But when you talk about this is greatly static. That means one cannot change tuple once created, but to list once you create, you can definitely add and remove. We have methods like insert, append, insert, and delete, which can work with it, remove, which can work with it. In this, we don't have much of the methods. But just to remind you, a connected topic, you can have a tuple with a list within itself, and that list still would be dynamic. If you remember our lecture में डिटेल में हम लोग ने कवर किया है कि अगर लिस्ट टपल के अंदर रहा तो वो एडिटेबल होता है, and you can greatly use it as the property to operate. So that is what we have been talking about. That is how we are working with. So that's what we are dealing with. That's how we are working with. Let's go one step further. Let's get the next question. Okay. So next question says, okay, sir, SQL, what way we can connect SQL to Python? For this, majorly what we would be needing, majorly what we would be operating, as we call it PYDB. Now, there are several ways of implementing this. One of the common thing which we have done is MySQL dot connector. The basic use of MySQL connector talks about very simple. It connects to SQL, uh, MySQL, MS SQL. It's a kind of a driver which we would require. In detail, you can refer to the recorded lectures where we have given all the steps. Just to brief it, we have to first import this, then we have to create a connection string, then we'll use a cursor which refers to the database, and then there is a query. Query would be one of the most important thing, and we have different type of queries to work with. We have select queries, insert queries. Select queries allow you to extract, insert query will allow you to insert data. We also have create, delete, and alter queries which can do. So that thing you can do it in detail from the notes. Still you have query, you can definitely write back to. So that's something which we are talking about. Other than that, we also have PYODBC, which is another type of a driver which could allow you to connect MS Excel Access databases. It gives you a wider facility for connection as well as some advanced feature to write back the file in a different forms. Another question of working with it, if you want to simplify the system, as the question says, for application, I need to know. If you don't want to use a backend database, I'll give you a better option. Use pandas. And we all know Panda works with CSV files. This will act as your database. And with Panda, the CURD operation, that means create, update, read and delete, becomes way easy. So you can directly operate on that. So as the question says, sir, what is a way of connecting SQL? And I'm looking out for application development for project. I would say if the project does not clearly states database has to be so and so technology, I would strongly recommend to go for pandas because that would get you a better option and an age. That's easy. Okay. Another question. So still unclear with keyword pass and what it does. Okay, interesting thing. Now, when you talk about pass, I have several times said to understand pass, understand the meaning of pass in English. Sometimes in argument, what we say, I pass, I don't want to say anything. अगर झगड़ा नहीं करना किसी से और आर्ग्यूमेंट से टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना, better option pass. Let someone say what they want to, you feel what you want to. So making one thing obvious, we say pass. Now pass keyword is a no operation keyword. Now when you say no operation keyword, it means it does not do anything. So what's the use? We will write this statement so that later on maybe some code would take over, or just for the sake of testing I need to. For instance, you try this in your computers. If you say class, let's say human, as I always give that example, and you don't write anything, if you run this thing, this will generate error. Sir, but I'm not so sure what I'm going to do with class, but I need this class. Better option is a keyword pass. And now run. So there'll be no error coming in. So you realize it is as good as writing class human without a code. Now, since I don't have a code, I'm giving a pass which will accept it, or which will be accepted as a body of this class. Later on, I can add code to this class and the class would still work. So that's exactly what pass is doing for us. Another question, just a minute. Okay. I hope people are understanding and working. I would ask everybody to register, send in your query so that I can answer more. So let's go with it. Now, this is a good question. Sir, looking out for job, how Python or which part of Python I should be more good with? I'm 2020 student. Okay, that's a last to last batch student is there. So now, whenever you are planning for a job, okay, Currently, if I talk about Python, Python can be used in three ways depending on where you're applying for. So if you talk about Python, there can be a job related to data analytics. Under that case, your skills like pandas, numpy, and matplotlib will be a better option. If you're talking about web based, then you should be ready with class and, sorry for the spelling, class and Django. You'll be working with these two framework for the web. And if it's an app development based company or product based company, be ready with TK Inter, that is ability to make your application, database ability, and deployment. Now, here I want to make one thing very, very clear. These are in general, but must, that means compulsory, what you should know about it is your data structure, your loops, and also when you talk about data structure and loops, also bit of files and conditional statements. These are some things which I say students should know in and out, and then only we should plan about other interviews and other things. So this is what you would be going through in terms of working, in terms of operation. That's what we work on. Another question, sir, can we have array in Python? Okay, now that's quite interesting stuff to talk about. We do have a list concept. We do have a list concept which I have just explained earlier. But similar to this, we also have array section. So the logic of working with array is you have to say import array. That means a package which you should import. That's a package which you should import. And then you can create array. Then you can create array and use it. Now that is very much possible by doing. I'll just explain in a very brief manner. But this is something which you can explore. So if the question is, so do we have array? Yes, we do have an array. It's a separate package if needed, but although we don't tend to use it much because today array has been replaced by list greatly. But yes, you can definitely use array. If I want to create an array variable, I'll say a is equal to, now a is acting as an array variable, but to create we'll say array dot array bracket. Now this is an index variable which I'll be using, followed by the array elements. Followed by the array elements. So I works as a kind of index which will be used to operate onto it, and then you can work with it. So that's how we operate and that's how we work. Although this array is heterogeneous, you can actually operate directly, you can actually operate it directly, but you can have different data types also. That is array. So yes, Python we do have array coming into picture. Python we array is used. So that is how we would work. So that's it. This was a very short, but more or less these are the questions which I got from the students, and these are my answers to it. We'll be meeting every Sunday back to back. 1 to 2 is a time which I have given it for students. So depending on the question answers, we'll come to know how and what happens. So more or less now see you coming Sunday. Again, registrations would be open from Monday onwards. Go through the registration process, go through the question so that I can answer more. So we'll be able to meet again coming Sunday. Till that time, take care of yourself. Amar Panchal signing off.